All right, it appears that Detroit Pistons made another mistake in a long line of not even draft mistakes, just letting talent go. And it looked like they made an obvious mistake by not retaining Christian Wood. And you keep having fans say, oh, he didn't want to be here, but he been consistent about saying he wanted to be here, and the Pistons didn't want him. So let's talk about it. Hit that subscribe button, bell icon button, share the video. And I'm guessing that they probably took a chance with Jerami Grant, who was 1 point shy of a career high, let it be in, 2 overtimes, that he had more of a track record than Christian Wood. Christian Wood came on the scene. He bounced around the league, but basically he just beat out Joe Johnson to make the team. And, what the Pistons had was a teaspoon size of Christian Wood last season, and he thrived, and it should have been a priority to creep him. But they go get somebody who ain't even scored 30 points in the game and give him $20 million. And instead of retaining Christian Wood, I would feel comfortable giving the $60 million to Christian Wood before I gave it to Jerami Grant. All right, Grant has never been a player that I thought could be anything other than a role player. And there's been some great role players throughout history. Derek Fisher, Kenny the Jet Smith, Vernon Maxwell. You could just keep going on. Robert Horry, maybe the creme de la creme of role players. But, Jerami Grant is a role player. His father was a role player. What did the Pistons see in him to give him, $60 million across 3 years? I don't know. When I look at on the court, I don't really see an impact. I see him had 28 points, but it didn't even feel like he put up 51 fantasy points on FanDuel last night. And I'm just looking at it like Christian Wood. I watched most of that Portland game with the Trailblazers, and you look at him and he looked the part. He's special. He was finishing in traffic all night. Not that it looked like he gained any muscle weight over the offseason, no. And that's something he got to do. And then defensively, he coordinates on what the Houston Rockets want. That's all offense and no defense. They'll score 128 points, but they're going to give up 120 or whatever it may be. But I just didn't see why they gave Jerami Grant that money in. This is looking like another mistake Spencer Dinwiddie, Aaron Aflalo, who else you had? Chris Middleton. And this team just, when they can't find talent through the draft. All right, they skip over guys like Giannis. They skip over guys like Devin Booker. You know what I'm saying? And they just can't find talent. You know what I'm saying? And Diambo, and I'm going to talk about him in another video later, but he ain't looking too good. And you go out and get Jerami Grant. And one thing about Christian Wood, he got a post game. He can live on the inside of Jerami Grant. We was trying to replace Andre Drummond. And you had an obvious replacement in his face in Christian Wood. You let him walk. He got 3 years, $42 million, whatever it was. You let him walk and bring in Jerami Grant, which he more of a 3 or 4. That money they gave Jerami Grant is just unfathomable. You just can't fathom it. And Denver matched it. He came here trying to be a star, but he ain't no star. We were talking about, should they pay, Fred VanVleet? And this deal ain't as bad as Fred VanVleet. He got, 22, 23 for 5 years. But Fred VanVleet is a better player. But I'd rather have Jerami Grant contract. But watching Christian Wood last night, he kept saying, they didn't believe in me. 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 And I understand why they didn't believe in him. And I think it started with Dwayne Casey. And probably in practice, Christian Wood was showing out. But then again, Don Maker against seniority based on what? Tenure with the Pistons? The Pistons got to do better, man. They got to do better. And it just seemed like the same thing from Dumars to Van Gundy and Bowers to Troy Weaver. They don't know talent. They can't draft talent, but then they freak around and turn around and let talent go. When they find talent like Middleton, Dinwiddie, Aaron Aflalo, even when they found Tayshaun Prince that year where they was about to get put out by T-Mac and they pulled Tayshaun Prince out the deep freezer. What 4-year starter that's going to be solid in the NBA need to marinate for a year? That just never made no sense to me. This organization operates, ever since Bill Davidson died, even when he was alive, this operates on stupidity. They still got the rules of the 20th century about basketball. oh, you gotta earn your keep, or, you gotta sit and wait a year. Get out of here. And then they say you sit and wait a year and you got a guy like Reggie Jackson or Ben Gordon or Charlie Villanueva in front of you who ain't worth shit. Excuse my French. And it's just out of control where your franchise, they can't draft talent in the first round, but somehow they find talent late and they let them get away. Imagine a backcourt with Spencer Dinwiddie, Chris Middleton, and let's just say perhaps they drafted Devin Booker because he went like several picks later. You could have a backcourt. You could have a point guard of Spencer Dinwiddie, Booker in the backcourt. You could put Middleton at the 3, man. And then think about it. Andre Drummond would have been able to thrive in that scenario. Think about that for a minute. They traded that pick for Blake Griffin. They could have had Michael Porter Jr. You know what I'm saying? They passed up on Bola Bola for Savitas, or they traded a pick for Kevin Porter. This team, they act like they can take the it seemed like they uppity. Oh, we don't want Kevin Porter. He got too many Bola Bola. Like that's like that is basically the mantra or it's the representation of Detroit sports when you talk about the Lions and the Pistons. I don't watch too much of the Tigers anymore or the Wings, but they don't take risks. And when they take risks, you know what I'm saying? For the Lions, they let that Flalo go. They let, Middleton go. They let Christian Wood go. And then they turn around and tell you Charlie Villanueva, Reggie Jackson, Blake Griffin, Derrick Rose still got it. And it's just an idiotic thing because Andre Drummond still could be here. You know what I'm saying? If you took Booker, you kept Spencer Dinwiddie, Middleton, Drummond, that might be a championship caliber team. But no, they take risks like Blake Griffin, and Lions taking risks on risks like Tease Tabor, Ryan Bros, Amir Abdul. This city is just, it's like these dudes intentionally come in here and mess it up. The Pistons could have been rebuilt, and they took talent, and they have talent that they took that they could have, okay, let's get Dinwiddie and Middleton under contract real quick for cheap. It's just like they intentionally sucking. Just think about it. If they would have just took 30% and made the right moves, say they took Giannis, that would have been the move right there. The Pistons could have had Giannis and Booker or Dinwiddie and Middleton. Like, this organization have talent. But then they turn around and kick talent away and let talent walk, and then they bring in guys like Jerami Grant. guys like, Mason Plumlee, Jahlil Okafor. They bring in these guys and try to tell us, man, it's like this is intentional. It's intentional, dude, at this point. It's just something you just can't believe that's happening in front of your eyes. So you can add Christian Wood to the list of players that we had that's going to be really good, but we gave away for nothing. Or we traded for minimum. You know what I'm saying? Aflalo, Dinwiddie, Middleton. And then don't talk about the trade. Guys they passed up. Stanley Johnson over Devin Booker. Kentavious Caldwell-Pope over Giannis Antetokounmpo, Rudy Gobert. Who else that we got there? It was another one too. I just kind of blew my mind, dude. But you just keep going. Yeah, Stanley Johnson for Devin Booker. It's just crazy, dude. Could have had Bola Bola, let him walk. Could have had Kevin Porter, let him walk. Organization ain't too smart at all. They don't know what a good basketball player is. And then we gonna be looking at Seoku and say we should have took him. Or we gonna looking at Killian Hayes. Everybody say don't overreact to Killian Hayes, but y'all the same people, or a lot of y'all concurrent with saying that Diambo's a bust. If he a bust, look at Killian. He ain't even flashing the flashlight like Parliament. Flashlight. But it is what it is, dude. Let me know what you guys think about the video. Think we should have kept Christian Wood for instead of going to get Jerami Grant? We should have paid Christian Wood. I think if they would have paid him $60 for 3 years, he would have stayed, or he probably would have matched Houston. But hey, let me know what you guys think. Don't forget me on Facebook, Instagram, Twitter. You can reach out if you have a business question, inquiry, sponsorship, video request. All my social media links in the description. If you want to reach out, want to make a donation, Cash App CJ Good 313. That's in the description. PayPal link in the description. Best way to donate is share the video. Appreciate the love, support. Let me know what you guys think one time for the one time.